Hello wonderful people, welcome to Spears FC and welcome to another tutorial. So guys, in today's tutorial I'm going to teach you how I made this very beautiful A-line reversible tube top, and you can see that it's looking so good. So guys, if you are ready, don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and if you have any question as we go by, please do well to drop it in the comment section and I will answer all questions. So guys, if you are ready, let's just get into the video. So basically the first thing to do is to draft out our normal bodice pattern. Shoulder divided by 2, 14 divided by 2, that is 7. Chalk out the 7. The armhole is also 14 divided by 2, that is 7. And I will add half inches seam allowance and make the lines together. At the midpoint here, for the chest line, the chest line is 12. 12 divided by 2, that is 6. Chalk out the 6. Directly at where the armhole lies, I'll take the bust measurement. Add 1.5 inches seam allowance. On the shoulder, we'll also take the half length measurement. The half length is 14 plus half inches seam allowance. The length of the top is 25 inches. 1 inch seam allowance to This is basically our normal bodice pattern. Remember that this particular top we are cutting is a tube and we don't really need all this shoulder line. And the reason why we draft out the normal bodice pattern first is because it's going to serve as a guide when we want to take the necessary measurement for the tube. Shoulder to nipple measurement, and the shoulder to nipple is 9.5. Chalk out the shoulder to nipple measurement. Shoulder to under bust measurement, that is 13 inches and is the nipple to nipple measurement. And you can do that by placing your tape at the front of your chest line. Place it on the first nipple, then just also go and you get your nipple to nipple measurement. Nipple to nipple measurement of this top is 7.5. Divide 7.5 also into 2, and that will give us about 3.25 inches. For us to contour it, directly at this chest line, 1 inches here with nipple to nipple line, and also after the nipple to nipple line we'll also take 1 inches here for the under bust. Take 1 inches there, we'll take out 1 inches there. At the under bust we are going to go up by 2 inches the French curve to connect the lines together. Just by 1 inches here, come down by 1 inches, then we are going to connect these lines together, so just like the way we contour the under bust. For the half length as well, we'll take 1 inches by both sides. Draw a straight line starting from the under bust all the way to the half length. Extend this contouring all the way to the hem line. The hem line we won't use 1 inches allowance. We'll just take out half inches after the nipple line. Next is we'll connect this line like this all the way back to the half length. Out all this shaded portion. For us to measure now is the bust line, and then by 4, that is 8.5. We'll place our tape rule just like this. So starting from the center front, we have 2 inches here. Then having measured the 2 inches here, remember that this place is going to be cut out, so we can't place our measurement here. We'll take our tape rule just like this. Then we'll continue our measurement from the 2 inches here. So we'll start from here and we'll measure the 8.5 inches. Then I'll mark out the 8.5 inches. After 1 inches allowance. The under bust circumference divided by 4 is 30 divided by 4, that is 7.5. Have about 2.25 inches here, approximately 2. So from the 2 here, we'll exclude this place because this place is going to be cut out again, and we'll measure the 7.5. 1 inch seam allowance. Half length is 28 divided by 4, that is 7. We'll continue the measurements starting from this place. This place is going to be cut out. Then we'll measure the 7 inches and we'll also add 1 inch allowance. And here, this tube is going to extend all the way somewhere around the hips line. The hips is 40 inches. 40 divided by 4, that is 10. We'll also start our measurement from the center front. Extend this 10 inches by about 4 inches so as to give us the perfectly A line to connect this line to this place. We're going to curve this line all the way like this. We're going to make the line curve into the hemming allowance. Also get the sweetheart neckline to go up by about 1.5 inches. Mark out the 1.5 inches depending on how deep you want sweetheart neckline to be. For this one, I'll be using about 1.5 inches. How deep you want it to be, you can use 1.5, you can use 2. Some can even come down as 3 to connect this line back to here to give us a sweetheart neckline. We're just going to extend this measurement up just like this. After extending this dart leg up, you can see that this dart leg is quite longer than this, and by the time you want to join it, it's not going to be balanced. So for us to avoid that, I'm just going to assume as if I want to close the dart leg. Just assume you want to close the dart leg. Make the line align with each other. I'm going to use my hand to hold it like this. I'm just going to use my hand to redraw the sweetheart neckline by doing something like this. So this will be our original sweetheart neckline, and open this up. Last thing we'll do is we'll just connect this place using about a straight line. Connect it like this. So it's going to be like this. In this line like this, so as not to be confused. So this is how the sweetheart neckline is going to go. Curve this our sweetheart neckline. We'll curve it also all the way to somewhere around the bust line. You don't need the shoulder line, is a tube. So this is the basic measurement we need for the front, and the next thing I'm going to draft out now is the back pattern. The first thing to do is just to extend the major lines, normal body's measurement major line, bust, the half length, and the hem. We don't need the under bust, and we don't need the nipple at the back. Continue the measurement to draft out the back. What we're going to do is we'll take our tape rule like this, and we'll measure the biggest part in the front block. So the biggest part in the front block is definitely the hem allowance, which is somewhere around the hips line. So right here we have about 14 inches. So having done that, I will just fold this front pattern a little. What I'm going to do now is to place the 14 inches as well, like this. We'll continue the measurement. Measure out the 14 inches also. I'm just going to mark out the 14 inches all the way to the bust line. Divided by 4 is about 7 inches. So we'll chalk out the 7 inches, and we'll also add 1 inch seam allowance. The bust line we have about 8.5 inches, 1 inch seam allowance. Because this back is going to have loop, this back is not going to have any form of zipper allowance. For us to be able to loop this top very well, we are going to go inward by about 3 inches. Bust line will go inward by 2 inches, and also at the hem line will go inward by 2 inches. They will connect these lines together. This is how the front and the back look like. Cut it out. So for the cutting, I'll start from the center front. I'll cut it all the way from the hemming. I'll cut out this marked place and just cut it out just like the way it's appearing by the camera. So for the front pattern, this is the front pattern. So for this front pattern, this one is going to be a cut on fold, while this is going to be cut times 2 to add 1 cm seam allowance to this place and to this place, just like the way it's appearing by the camera. The major reason why we're adding this 1 cm seam allowance is that this 1 cm seam allowance is what we're going to use to join these both panels together. So having cut out the patterns, the next thing I'm going to do now is to place it on the fabrics to cut it out. So I'm using these 2 fabrics and they are of different color. Since we are making a reversible tube, these first fabrics, I will have to cut it out with all this pattern, and I'll also do the same thing for this, I'll use this fabric also to cut out all this pattern. And this one is appearing outward, this one will serve as a lining for it, and anytime this one is appearing outward, this one will serve as a lining for it. This pattern, these three patterns on the fabrics, and I'll cut everything out. So I'm done cutting all the fabrics using this pattern. So the next thing I'm going to do, I will have to put an interfacing on the outside of the fabrics for both fabrics. So that is all for the main body. So for the rope we are going to use to lace the loop, I cut out these two long strip of fabrics. However, I'm still going to join it together like this. Then having joined it together, I'm going to tape it in. So I made it very long because the tube is also a long one, and this is how it looks like. So I used a width of about 1.5, and also this second piece is going to be used for the looping, and I also used a width of about 1.5. This thing I'm going to do is to go and fix fusing on these fabrics. Then after doing that, we'll get on the sewing machine and stitch everything down. I've already added the fusing to the fabrics, and this is just how it looks like the way it's appearing by the camera. So I've added the fusing to it already, so just go ahead and stitch everything down. Stitching, I'm going to make the center front and one of the center side align with each other like this. Having aligned it together, I'm going to stitch it using that one seam allowance we added. So to join the center front to the side front, and I'm also going to join the side front to the center front. So I've joined the side front to the center front. For now, I will leave it at that. Take the back panel side front just like this. So I'm going to join it. We left about 1 inch seam allowance, so I'm going to join it with the 1 inch seam allowance we left. Join the two back panel to the side front. I had already pressed open all the seam, and this is how it looks like for both the upper part and also the lower part. So I'm just going to keep these two now, and I'm going to work on the rope of the loop. Because the rope is going to be one, I'm going to join these two together. Then after joining it, I'm just going to fold it like this, like the way it's appearing by the camera. Fold it like this, and I'm going to run a straight stitch all through. This is the rope for the loop, and for us to cut out the loop, I'm going to measure 3.5 inches. Measure 3.5 inches, and I'll just cut 3.5 inches out. To do is to mark the areas in which we want the loop to sit at the back. So for us to do that, firstly we have to come down by about half inches here, because we are still going to join this upper part. It's still going to have some sort of joining. So I'll come down by about half inches starting from the upper neckline. And having done that, I'm just going to use about 3.5 inches for the positioning of the loop. 3.5 inches. So also at the end, I will leave about half inches. So these are the positioning for the loop. I'll do the same thing for the other side. So for us to stitch down the loop, you're going to fold the rope like this, not like this. You're going to turn it like this, so that by the time we want to pass in the rope, it will be very easy. So just like the way it's appearing by the camera, take one side of this rope, then make it come this way, tilt it like this, then it's going to be something like an 8 sign, so like this. So having done this, I'm just going to put it here, and I'm going to start stitching it all down. So after attaching all the loop to it, the next thing we are going to do is take the front side and the front side balance together. Then having done that, we are going to make sure that all the stitching aligns with each other as well. So after securing the upper part with the lower part with pin, the next thing I'm going to do is to start the stitching from somewhere around the neckline. Then we'll stitch it all round, just like the way it's appearing by the camera. Then we'll leave a little opening, just like the way it's appearing by the camera. So I'm done joining all the M all the way to the back and everything. I'm done joining them. So what I will do is that, because this particular tube, reversible tube, that means we'll be using both sides outward, I won't be able to top stitch the neckline. So what I will do is that I'm just going to launch some certain points. I'll launch the midpoint of the neckline. Then having launched that, what I will do next is that I will just trim out some little excesses, just like the way it's appearing by the camera, so that by the time we turn it to the other side, it will be able to relax properly. So I'll just trim out the excesses. And so guys, please, if you have not subscribed to this channel, please do well to do that. Like this video, and if you have any question, you can drop it in the comment section and I will do well to reply. Necessary parts, I launched this place connecting the neckline to the back. So the next thing I will do is I left about 2 inches opening here, and I'll use this 2 inches opening to turn out everything. So this is how it looks like after opening it up, and you can see that it's looking so good. You can see it's looking all nice. You can see it's looking all nice. So the last thing I'll be doing is for me to close up this particular place in which we turned it out. So for us to finish this particular place, you can use 2 methods. You can use your needle and thread to just hem it inward and make it neat, and you can also just take it on your sewing machine and just run a very tiny stitch here, just that. So I'll be using my sewing machine to just stitch it inward here. If you want to sew anything that is reversible, you have to join all the front and the back together. You join the other side, then you stitch both sides together.